Spain has threatened to break away from an international treaty as a huge new rebellion brews in Brussels, signed in 1994 to protect cross-border investments in the energy sector. The Energy Charter Treaty has faced growing criticism from environmental groups and governments that say it impedes countries' efforts to phase out fossil fuels. Spain has said the EU must push for huge changes or pull out, warning individual member states could soon break rank and quit unilaterally. The agreement enables foreign investors to seek financial compensation from governments if changes to energy policy negatively affect their investments. Some countries are growing impatient, after 3 rounds of negotiations last year failed to yield progress. Spain said this weekend it had written to EU leaders calling for the bloc to consider quitting the treaty if it cannot be redesigned to support Europe's plans to curb greenhouse gas emissions. The negotiations have practically made no progress since they began in July 2020, a Spanish official said. Spain is seeking full alignment with the Paris Agreement on climate change, or withdrawal from the treaty, Spanish Energy and Environment Minister Teresa Ribera wrote on Twitter. Speaking to Politico, she added, "We are not very optimistic on the possibilities to get a successful result from the coming rounds of negotiation." In a stern ultimatum to Brussels, the Spanish minister said efforts to reform the treaty should be clear by the end of 2021. Otherwise, she added, we need to start to prepare a withdrawal the European Union or, in the case it is needed, to consider the possibility of some of the member states leaving. We would prefer, of course, having a decision as a bloc. EU officials said the European Commission is expected to propose reforms to the International Energy Treaty next week after some governments have said the bloc should consider quitting the agreement because it could threaten climate goals. Among the most recent uses of the treaty, RWE last month sought compensation from the Dutch government over its plan to phase out coal-fueled power by 2030, which would affect the German utilities Eemshaven power plant. The treaty's more than 50 signatories meet next month to negotiate an updated text. EU officials said the European Commission is expected to produce its negotiating position late on Monday, for EU countries to consider. France has also called on EU countries to jointly quit if negotiations do not deliver progress this year.